T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, what up? What up? What is up? Welcome to the King and Me Show. We are live and full effect, full in effect. I messed that up, but we gonna keep going on YouTube, Facebook, and this morning. Michelle, say something for the people.
You said this morning.
This morning? Wow.
Hey y'all, it's the other half. It is Michelle just saying, hey y'all, how y'all doing tonight?
Hey, all right. So we live this evening, Monday, 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern, as we come to y'all most Mondays. Okay, next Monday is going to be a little bit different, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. But let's get the quick marketing stuff out of the way. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and AMP. If there's a like button, hit that like button, all right? Michelle and I just started the King and Me Show as a way for us to showcase that dating and relationships don't have to be hard. Michelle and I just met this past year, over the past year in a 365-day space. And we're coming up on 1 year dating. And what's funny, kind of ha-ha funny and interesting about that is that people assume that her and I have known each other because of how well we communicate and things like that. Yet, we've only met, it was August the 6th of 2022 and officially became dating an item at you and me October the 20th of that same year. Now, there's a lot of stuff in between that if you're new, go back and watch some of our prior stuff, okay? As we talked about how we came to meet, how we came to dating, and all stuff in between. Michelle, today's topic. Supportive friends versus nosy onlookers. What made us come up with that?
You know, I'm gonna be real honest. Trust me with these titles. I have ADHD, so like random things popping in. I'm like, oh, okay, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let's see how it flows. Let's see how it works. I know we got some people into us on AMP. Thank you so much for popping in, and it sounds auntie. You thank you so much for popping in. And then we got the best mod this side of the hemisphere.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Tarika, she up in the building. Thank you so much, sis. And to everyone else who is catching us live in living color, or even the replay, even if you haven't commented, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And then make sure you go ahead and hit that share button so that you can share the wealth with someone, so that they can find out who this King and Michelle, who this group is, King, they're all about, and dive in and have fun with us, because we love to have fun. Talk about serious, love to have fun.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, you and I both came together well after the pandemic. We were set up through a mutual friend. And in my opinion, I think that in today's dating scene, probably that's the best way to find someone of substance or of quality. Because it's not hard to pop up a dating app, swipe, and then get somebody to come over. That's not hard.
Right.
What is hard? Finding a person of substance that you want to choose to give time to. Okay? Now, you and I came together through I'm gonna just call it a warm lead, so to speak. Somebody who knew you, somebody who knew
Oh,
me.
okay.
Warm lead.
So we're business people. He has an MBA. I have a bachelor's in finance. I'm a business teacher, and in addition to my two masters, so he hit y'all with that warm lead because that's what we do in marketing. That's how we're able to find out with things. Cold lead or a cold what's it called? Cold calling
Cold call.
means
Yeah.
that you don't know the person, you're just randomly doing it. But we were introduced by someone that we both knew, so that is a warm yes, yes, yes.
And we came together with our own circle of people. I have my folks that I call my good trusted circle that if stuff comes up or I need advice or anything, I know I can call on them and things like that. And there's been people that throughout our friendship and then us dating were supporters of both you and I dating and being together. Now, I can't speak for your circle and your people, but did you have supportive friends for us as we were getting to know each other and dating and things? Yeah, was there anybody that didn't like me? And
No,
who was
no, there was no one.
it?
None of my female friends is like you. There may be a couple of guys who were kind of like, where he come from? Namely, my ex is probably over there thinking, I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. But no, my friends were always supportive. They were upset with us because they felt like we were lying to ourselves
Oh
when we said that
yeah.
we were just friends, just friends, just friends. So I feel like they were upset with
Hmm.
us for that. But other than that, my friends, because I have two that I bang with like thick as thieves. And then, I have, even though I have 23 living line sisters, I only have two that I'm close to.
Okay.
And those two, the moment they heard about you, they were in support of you because lovingly, they're Team Michelle. So they'll support whomever I believe is a good fit. And everyone at my church was like, well, I just want to meet him. Like, he seems so amazing. I want to meet him. I want to meet him. So there was no one, again, who in my corner
Okay.
who was not supportive. Everyone was really supportive, at least outwardly facing. Now, if they had other thoughts or if, it was just a smile in your face all the while I'm trying to take your place, backstabbers, they smiling you all the time. They want to take your place, the backstab. If you're new, I try to sing every week. Cry, because I
That's all
can't.
right. I appreciate it. Sometimes.
Ooh,
That's a thing. Was I doing this sometimes before we were even dating?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
it's
I just like gotta you can't let the left hand know what the right hand doing sometimes. So I'll just throw in the word sometimes randomly. You'd be like, "Do you still love me?" I'd be like, "Yep,
sometimes.
sometimes." For me, on my side, I had people, friends, peers that were extremely supportive of you because okay, when Michelle and I came together, I wasn't looking to be dating anybody.
Was adamant, I
Anybody.
ain't dating nobody. I am not trying to be nobody. I'm living this agent lifestyle. Think I want to be. I don't want nobody. Like that's where
Yes. So even though we started this by saying that we got set up essentially between two people, it was through the guise of a date night. We've talked about it on our previous live streams. But as I was talking to Michelle, I'm like, hey, look, I'm attracted to you. Let me just say that up front. I had a chance to kind of get to know her because she has an online presence. And I could tell that she was a good person, a decent person. And for me, I'm like, okay, but let me also try to figure out why she's single. All right? Because if she's attractive, she's a God fearing person, she has good values and good morals, why ain't no man snatched her up? That's
I
what I was
bought.
trying to
That's
figure
my
out.
Chinese name, my Mandarin name. Did I ever tell you what my Mandarin? So
No.
I studied Mandarin in high school.
Mm-hmm.
My Mandarin name, she right with good morals.
Oh, see, look at you living up to your Mandarin name. So I was trying to figure this out. Then I'm like, all right, let me see what her circle like. And I've met her circle. She has a really good supportive circle. Those two that she said that she banged with, I've broke bread with them, and uh on more than one occasion actually when they came up for your graduation, and they showed up with gifts and love and things like that.
And
So
jokes.
and jokes. So she had some very supportive friends, and I had some very supportive friends as well. I can tell you that on my side, there wasn't anybody that outwardly did not support us. There were some people.
Ooh, give me deets. Give me deets.
I've told you this. There was one person that I had an understanding with that uttered the words,
Them.
well, what am I gonna do now? And I'm like,
Ooh,
that's
I'm sorry.
really.
That's the petty.
Well, no,
Okay.
that's I didn't know what to say other than I gotta find that out, you know. So, and it wasn't like it was a temporary thing, and that was known. At least I communicated that, and I
But
thought that that person
see,
understood that too.
thing though, like I don't care how Stone Cold, and this is totally going to topic. I don't care how Stone Cold a woman says she is, when that is involved, you know, involved,
Mhm.
emotions are involved. It is hard to out you're being sex. Here's your metaphor for this. Okay?
Mhm.
Imagine you have an outlet and you plug something outlet. If something goes wrong, are you going the thing that was plugged in, or are you going to outlet?
I see damage on the outlet.
Exactly. That he can plug into a woman and himself may not, but there will be that woman effects on that woman, and for walk into plugged in effects on that is a delusional way of thinking.
I don't like that. Say what you mean what you say.
But sometimes I don't think it's that they're intense.
Your audio is still doing it, and I don't know why.
I
It was
but I
fine
heard
earlier.
it.
It was so fine earlier. But
I heard
you have
it.
times where you're talking and your audio's just it's down and then it's not doing anything.
I don't know what to do. So this is something we were talking about before. Um, I don't know. This is kind of
Right
where
there. Talk like that.
I am talking like this. Like this is me talking, but there are moments where I may like turn my head, and I think I turn my head and I'm looking at you, giving you attention, and my audio is going out, and I don't know what to do.
It's fine now. Just don't drift.
It's not that I'm
Stay
drifting. Like,
afloat.
I am a teacher. I have to conserve my voice to be able to teach your kids.
Well, I need you for 45 more minutes to just be a little bit louder, baby. All right. Shout out to Auntie Show You said that the sound is perfect on amp. So amp is fine. We were having some technical difficulties prior to going live because I have my own mic. She has her own mic, and that's what worked well for the audio. But she was trailing off a bit, and we didn't realize it on a pre-recorded thing that we did for next week until me about halfway through, and I wanted to cross my fingers and hope, which is why this is why I don't live on hope, Michelle. This is why I don't live on hope, because I hoped that our audio was good, and then we got done, and I found out that it wasn't. I don't think we can use that for next Monday, but that's a different topic. We'll work on that later. Did you have any nosy onlookers?
Yeah, I always have no fears.
Why?
I always think life that I don't know. So if you look at I have probably 13 following me
Mm-hmm.
on the probably the same comments.
Okay.
That automatic at the 1,200. I'm sorry, 1,200. There's just no.
Okay. Do you think that there's people that are waiting to see if we slip up?
Oh, of course. Now I can promise you, one of them people is my ex. I can promise you on everything that my ex is probably sitting in a corner somewhere right now waiting for us to come to an end so that he can slide back in. And Terica says there's an echo.
There's an echo. Okay. If there's an echo, I'm looking. Okay. It may be.
Maybe when I get into the res because now I'm talking loud. So let me know when you hear it, sis, or like who you're talking when you hear the echo.
Yeah. Let me know if the echo's me or if the echo's her.
That would be very, very helpful. Thank you.
Thanks, Tarika.
But so that's the thing. Like I know he is likely saying through because have people see the stuff that you're doing and they see everything. They're just like, I'm gonna just look until something happens, until something goes. I can just hide up in the. I feel like that's. But I'm not just gonna put that on him. I'm not just gonna say that that's on him. I'm gonna also say that I feel like there's that too, and not even the sense that they want, but that they are. What is it? Both envious and jealous
Okay.
of our companionship, and because you don't have it, they're like, I don't feel like you deserve it. Like you're 37, you go meet somebody else. Like why do you have this? So I feel like there are people. I definitely do. I'm not no name, but I feel like there are people. Sometimes
Okay.
I feel like there are people.
Wow. Why? I mean, only they can answer that if they have those type of thoughts and intentions. But I've never understood that type of action from people. Why people are so motivated to see two relationships and one couple, two people not work out. It doesn't make sense to me. Or they want to see them fail. Like, ooh, I can't wait until XYZ blows up. Why is that?
Not happy with their own lives, and when you're not happy with your own life, you don't want anyone else to be happy. You don't want anyone else to have any type of joy because you yourself are miserable. Old adage goes, "Miss loves company." If someone is sitting in a where they're not feeling their best selves, they don't want anyone else to feel their best selves. And she said,
Okay, so the echo's on me. All right. So Auntie Shoyo said, so they can say, see, I knew it.
exactly. That's exactly what they're sitting there waiting for. Thank you, Terica. One thing that I wanted to talk about. So, despite the fact that we do have nosy onlookers and that there are people who are just sitting and waiting for your relationship's demise, understand it's not just your relationship. You are going to have some people who are just lurking and they're waiting for everything to have to topple over, not just your relationship. Oh, you just got that new promotion at your job. I'm gonna sit here and wait, and you can see that, right? That because you have all of these people who will do your stuff. Because the beautiful thing about us and about TikTok is it shows you looked at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny for me when I post things and I can see looks at my stuff. The moment I post something sad about my life or here they are, oh, I'm so sorry to hear sorry that happened to you. Well, baby, where were you when you celebrate?
Yeah.
I appreciate your sympathy, but I don't just want your I want congratulations when something
Mm-hmm.
there for me. And that's how you can tell people. I got people who not support. But the moment I post something where I'm talking about having battled depression or dark place right now or something devastating happened in my life, here they go with sorry, I'm so sorry.
Hmm.
That's just me. Maybe you don't get that, and
I
maybe
don't.
it's because you're a guy, and and I don't want to make it about a gender or anything.
No, that could be a factor. I like to think I don't just post like happy, happy, happy all the time. However, generally I am happy. Like you've gotten to know me over a year. Can you think of a time that I was like, I think I might have been like down in the dumps once, and I want to say I told you that I'm like, look, I can't figure out why I'm in a funk right now, but I am in a funk. I'm communicating this with you. I wouldn't. I don't think. I don't think I would have had a problem posting that. And the reason why I say that is it's like this. I live a fairly I have a large digital footprint. Let me just say it that way. Not famous by any stretch of means, but I don't mind sharing my thoughts and sharing myself online as I don't live close to family. I have a good circle of friends that are, close by, and I include Michelle. While Michelle and I are dating, I also consider her a friend, okay?
I'm your friend.
and I like the bonds and the relationships with people that I have, and close people definitely know when I'm not feeling well. But I think that I it's not that I wouldn't share that online. It's just that I haven't. So I haven't had people come out in that way when I've said something, and then have the same response that people have had with you. When I do share my successes, a pretty good amount of the people that do follow me on social media do like say congratulations and things like that. But now you have me think, because I know people like folks don't share when they're sad. People, oh no, it's rare. It's rare. I just had somebody who posted that they were struggling, and when I saw it, I know this person. I used to live in the same city as them. We don't live together now, and I think I have an idea of what's going on. Not fully though, but the way she was talking, it was very negative, very sad. And I reached out to her on Facebook, which is where she posted. And I said, look, I don't know fully what you're going through. I said, but the type of things that you were saying negative about yourself, that wasn't the person that I knew then. And I know it's not the person that I knew now. And she was basically saying that she was struggling with the fact that she feels as though she's there for people all the time, yet she doesn't feel as though people are there for her. And she talked a lot about how much she gives, but then it doesn't seem like she's receiving at all. And I let her know that, hey, you do have people that see you. You do have people that are supportive of you. I don't know what it is specifically that you need. You hadn't necessarily expressed specifically, this is what I need. It sounded like she just needed somebody just to say, I see you. So I said that. But it could be something else, right? So I would hope, and there's me with that word again, hope, that at least for what she needed then, I was supportive of her. All right. So let's take a break and pause for a second. We're not sponsored by this game, FYI, but it is
You
sitting
would
up
think we
here.
were as much as we play it.
You would think that we were. It is called Let's Get Deep, Questions for Couples. So do you have a card for us today?
I do. And the card says, what was your worst subject?
What was my worst subject in school? My worst subject in school was history. You know how bad I say that my memory is now? To me, history is one of those things is you're just kind of recalling like facts based off of points in time. And while there were some very significant stuff in history, right? History is why we are where we are today. I just didn't care. So history.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that. And I would love to hear from those who are listening. What was your worst subject in school? Mine too was history. I ended up going to summer school because I failed history in high school. And I say that proudly, but the funny thing is, my ninth grade year and my junior year, I failed a class, one each year. One was a history class and one was an English. I can't remember which one was which. I feel like ninth grade was the history and 11th grade was the English. It could be the other way around. I don't remember. But it's funny because now that I'm older, I realize that it's not that I'm bad at history. It's just the way that history presented wasn't by which I could learn.
Okay.
So, for example, this tour that I'm going on the Educators Learn or on Wednesday, which is, why I'm that it is. I'm going on this educators, and this is how I learn. And put me in historic sites and allow me to walk through some level of what happened back then I can learn that way. I can retain information. But when you give me a textbook and you're like, turn to page 376 and let's talk about what happened on this day, I'm just like, what? What happened on this day? Because I don't know. And no matter what you say to me, I'm not. And it's not preventing myself from learning or anything like that. It's just that's boring.
All right. See, Auntie Shoyo said that her worst subject was math. My teacher taught one way. My mother and father taught a different way as well, all with the same result, and yet I was confused as which way it was. Hey, I use profane, but this show we gon' is more the PG-13, right? But catch me on AMP on my show, the actual King Smith on AMP. Let's see. She says, so, hey, now, hey, it's all good. It is all good in the hood over here. Let's see. But she was confused about which way was the right way, and I'm doing air quotes, to show my work. That's what killed me and ultimately made me loathe math class.
It seems like math must be going around because Tarika also said math was her worst subject. She said that she was good in history and English, but that math was her worst subject. Man.
I love math.
Like, man, I loved math. I am still a math geek. A matter of fact, when I finally accepted the fact that I was going to, I low-key wanted to be a math teacher until the very moment when I realized there's only two options when it comes to teaching. Most of the subjects are two options. So you can early elementary,
okay,
which means that you prepare from, I think, K to 6.
Nope.
Or you can do secondary. So K to 6 is a hard no for me. Like that is not me. I can be really nice and cute cuddly with a kid for like 10, 15 minutes. But then after that, I'm like, okay, so what else can we?
Yeah.
Like, my attention span is not good enough able to work with babies all the time. I absolutely love them, but I can't. And then the second option would have been secondary. Came to secondary math. You know what's included in secondary math?
Algebra, calculus,
statistics.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm.
This don't do statistics, okay? All I can do is read a statistic. Please don't ask me to go in depth about how that statistic was derived. If this is the best type of who was polled for all of that. No. That applied mathematics stuff. Oh, but ask me about the Pythagorean theorem. Ask me about how a squared plus b squared equals, why you need to know that and what the hypotenuse is. Ask me that. I got you.
Okay.
How can we find like where 2 points on where 2 lines stacked? Are they congruent? Are they parallel? Like perpendicular? What's happening? All of that. I can do
words.
that. I can't spell them, so don't ask me to spell them. Like I said, English.
Yeah.
But I can do all of that, okay? That's what I can do. That's where I'm at. But don't hit me with that statistic. Don't hit me with that calculus. That's not me.
Okay. Do we pull another card or do we go back into the subject?
Let's go back into the subject.
All right. If you had one of your friends that met me and did not get a good vibe from me, how would that have impacted you?
I am so glad you asked that question, and let me tell you why. So earlier when I was doing some homework, I looked at an article from Psychology Today
Hmm.
from back in 2019, and it said that a family, there is less likely a chance of breakup to occur
Okay.
in
Mm-hmm.
general. So if someone in my close circle had for whatever reason that they themselves liked you, that's not what it had someone that would have had in,
Mm.
and it would have grown and made me okay.
Hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm. Because of that proximal, I don't know if that's a word,
close proximity.
close proximity of influence that family and friends can have on you. And I think that that matters and it's a big deal. What else did that study say? It's funny that you, like, we're talking about. So this is, we don't like script the show or anything. We know that we're going to read from this game. Outside from that, everything else is pretty much free flow. So I think it's interesting that she did bring that up, and I asked that question very specifically. Like we, yeah, hey baby, yeah.
All right. So it said couples who share social and friends have higher levels of satisfaction and essentially if we run in the same circle and not social as in social as in like legit social.
Okay.
So if we're interested in have a higher satisfaction, higher level of, and I would say I wholeheartedly agree with that. I think I'm not gonna call them out, but I'm gonna say there's a couple that you know because you play,
Okay.
and when I see the two of them, like her, I love her. I love how hard she goes for her man. And we sit on the sideline and we talk women talk stuff, but it's always respectful towards her husband. And I see them, they are in the same circle. They're doing like they're in 75 million sports. Legitimately, I look at them and okay, and I'm like, how do you have time for all this? But that's neither there. But they're running in I feel, and I can see the positive impact that it's having in their relationship.
Would you say that because one of our episodes that we're gonna have is signs of love? Would you say that support is a key element in that, in being that support from friends helps ensure that a relationship can last and not get derailed?
I 100% agree.
Is it necessary?
It is necessary. So here's what I'll say. I've done wedding photography, and attending weddings, you get to hear what different couples will say at the altar. And there was this one particular pastor where I photographed two weddings that he presided over. And there was something that he said about that stood out to me. What he and about the audience. So I'm not going to talk about the ring specifically, but essentially what I've learned wedding photography, because oddly enough in doing wedding photography, that's the most I've ever attended weddings in my entire life. In my youth, prior to 18, I want to say I attended weddings, not prior to 30. I probably attended weddings in my life. After, since doing photography, that's when I've attended the most amount of weddings. The thing that I have is the responsibility. Yes. And this particular pastor made it known that if you were here in this area to watch this, then you are accountable.
Huh.
You are also being, and specifically this pastor, like there's a I do for the couple, like before that particular portion of the vows, but there's a portion where he asked the audience, say like, hey, the couple is agreeing X, Y, best friend. pray for them and watch over them, lifted and hope, you know, not here, let me tell you what you need, not that type of,
But
but to spiritually, that type of stuff.
support the union.
Exactly, to support. And that's literally a part of something that he says in the vows. Well, not in the vows, but in a portion of the ceremony. And for me, that's
I like that. I've never heard of that happening, but the way things are nowadays, I think that because we are more social than we've been in the past, I think that that is kind of, I think it's important. I think it should be mandatory.
it should be, because first of all, so many people get upset because they don't get invited to a wedding. But it's like, real talk, I've always, one thing as I've gotten older, if I ever got married, the way that I want is I don't every time Dick and Harry have. I don't want to get my wedding just to know me. I want you to get my wedding because you are going to pray for me, my husband. You're going to continue to keep us lifted. You're going to continue to pray for our health. You're going to continue to pray for our well-being. You're going to continue to pray for God's continued blessings to just flow abundantly. You're going to see that Jezebel. Yes, I said Jezebel. You're going to see that Jezebel, that tart, that whatever, was eyeing my man, and you like, baby, wrath that will come God if you try to step in. Like, that's what I'm asking for. If you ain't fitting to do that, don't ask. Like, that's how I am with my wedding day. Like, if you ain't fitting to pray heaven up and down, to stay in constant prayer on your and my spouse, baby, you ain't coming to the wedding. And if it means that only me, my husband, and the person who's officiating the service is there, then okay, because God is there, and we gonna be good. We gonna be just okay.
Hey, let me ask this. I actually legit don't know this. Legally, do you have to have a third party witness?
Some states require it.
Okay.
And the third party witness can't be the
Can't be the person to fit. But okay, never mind. Okay.
It's kind of like me. I'm also a notary. Next question. I'm also a notary, and sometimes documents that I sign require a notary and a witness, and I can't do both. So with marriage certificates, especially in the state of Maryland, you have to have someone, and you have. So I always, and this is something that I said to my best friend after a while, like, I will be having the required amount and be A-okay.
Okay.
And survive.
Cool. Now,
When he laughs like that, y'all. Laughs like that.
so I only laugh because although we've only known each other for just over a year, we've only been dating for less than a year. We've met a good bit of our circle, our family. All right.
The last parent.
So I've met both of her parents first, and I only most recently met your dad, your brother, and his lovely wife, and their kids, and some of your other cousins when we went down to.
Yeah, he met one of my cousins
Mhm.
and her husband. Yes. That niece at my own.
So she's met my mother when my mom came to. Where'd she come for? Just to visit? She came for my daughter's 16-year-old birthday. Yeah, see, this is why my memory goes well with her memory. So, but she hasn't met my father yet. And as luck would have it, she's gonna get, well, the opportunity might work out to where she can meet my father while she's on her trip that she's coming up on. And that'll be the last parent aside from, no, actually, yep. That's the last parent.
Aside from your step-parent.
Aside from the step parents, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That she would have to meet. And look, I don't seek their approval at all. I'm grown. Let me look at this. Mama, I know you watching because I
He
saw you.
grown AF.
I'm grown. But it is nice to know, like, if they do approve or kind of like what they think initially. Because look, mama, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not a mama's boy at all. She'll say
Hey,
that.
Miss Cheryl, how are you?
Hey, mama. But she did stiff arm somebody that was trying to come into the picture, and she said, I don't want that girl up in my house, period. And I would highly advise you not to. My mama's only said that about one person in my life. And she felt very strong about that one person. And so aside from that, I mean, she's let me be me and, have my successes and failures as, life would have it. You met her, she really likes you. And the last person that you have to meet as far as my parents go is my dad. And I'm hoping that works out because look, you are going to have a very busy, fulfilled traveling, and things might change, but I'm hoping that it does work out because I'm really hoping that y'all do get the opportunity to meet. He wants to meet you.
I am looking forward to meeting his dad. Yes, that means that we would have met all the parents. Again, I have a stepmom, and when he did stepmom, there's some siblings that we haven't met. I haven't met his brother. He hasn't met two. Reality odds of
Wait,
the spade is spade.
did you say on this side
I
of
said
glory?
on this side of glory.
Okay. I've only heard.
I said what I said, and I make no apology.
I've only heard old people say that. Oh, all right.
Never mind. But no, the odds. But they are represented, and because they by extension. Look, I know that I won't be able to spend as much time with your dad as I was able to, because even though one sister I spent more with the other sister hours.
Yeah.
The one, I know I'm not going to get that much time with your dad, but just a hugger, pull him in for a hug, and just be able to say, and like that means a lot to me. Able to do that, so I am very prayerful that and that I will be, and it's not because of are grown, are able to make their own decisions, but it's something different. Like I don't know how to. It's just to meet the people first.
Yeah.
Different.
Okay. I think to answer the same question that I had asked you about if there was somebody that didn't approve of you with that, would I have continued? I would have continued only because I'm going to let me say, if it's one person, whatever. Two people might put me on pause though. Let me be real. Let's say I had two of my homies be like, hey man, so I knew her from back in the day, and I don't think she might show you something here, but from back in the day, man, let me just tell you, that might have given me pause.
But in all fairness, are you the same person today that you were back in the day?
Nope.
Neither am
It
I.
would have given me pause though. I'm just gonna say it would have given me pause.
So I can respect that, but I think there are some people that are like, hey, yo, I knew her back in the day. Hey, she was a bad mamma jamma, like worst way or whatever. I don't think that's
I agree.
people evolve. I am not the same that I was.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in high school. I was. Oh, you see that. Like back
Same.
then, I literally went by Mickey and I went by Shelly, and I don't go by either one of those.
Wait. Shelly, I knew about. Mickey? Okay.
K-E-Y-S.
But how did you get other people to call you Mickey?
We had two Michelles in high school. My grade, we had two Michelles.
I know this story. You told me this. So
Yeah.
in order to differentiate
Yeah, we
y'all.
had
Okay.
ways that.
Okay.
You saw how quick I turned my head. Like, wait, what? What happened?
Bet.
But yeah, so I'm not the same. I literally look the same. Like I had a guest speaker come in classroom on Thursday, someone that I went to high school with, and I know low key she was looking at me and don't look nothing like you did in high school because I
When was the last time that you saw that person prior to seeing them Thursday?
June 6, 2004 walked across.
Yo, shout out to that person.
She's friends with me on Facebook, so she's
Seen the progress, but
hasn't
still,
yeah,
in person,
because I don't be
it's
going to them
different.
reunions. Yeah, so
You, never mind.
topic for
Exactly. What else you got? She came to the show with cards.
Look, I just want to let you know what Tarika said. Tarika said King is in love with the Ow.
Oh yeah, I am. Chell, I love you. I have no problem saying that. I have no problem saying that. Now, what's interesting is that she was the first to say it to me. Okay. And she felt as though I had known or felt that way before I said it to her. And man, it's hard for me to say if that's true or not. What I can say is that when I did tell her, I didn't have any problem saying it to her.
And I remember the exact date.
What day was it? Because I don't.
February 3rd, 20.
What day of the week was it?
I'm like 80% Saturday
Okay. All right.
or Friday. I remember where we were, and I remember exactly what happened too.
Where were we?
We were at the beach.
Which beach? Okay. Okay. No
Inside joke.
On to the let's take this car and drive and go down the road this way. So, supportive friends versus nosy onlookers.
So the only other two things that I pulled from Psychology Today, again, it was an article on Psychology Today written back in 2019 because the business person, the researcher, fake researcher in me. Really, if you're going and it needs last 5 years, full statistical data, so I made sure the article was the last 5 years.
Okay.
Even though there was some other stuff that I saw that was good, but it said 2001. And I was like, we ain't doing something. But the only two other pieces that I got were about advice. So even though we said that we're not seeking from our parents because we're grown AF, and we what it said was someone who seeks advice, they are more likely to follow the advice that they're given. So if we had gone to a friend, a loved one, or someone and said, what do you think about so and so, or what advice would you give us? We're more likely to accept and follow the advice that we're giving versus if that family or loved one had come up to us and said, hey, okay, let me give you some advice real quick. Then you're more likely to ignore it. That unsolicited advice is more likely ignored.
Okay, and let me actually throw this in there. I'm a supporter of seeking counsel, right? I am definitely a supporter of seeking counsel. What I have to learn and kind of do for myself is to remember that it's not always for me as somebody that, oh man, I hear this thing and I have thoughts. It's better to come at that with the, hey, I have some thoughts about XYZ. Would you like to hear them? Then it's up to that person to say yes or no. If they say no, so be it. It is what it is, you know. But if they say yes, then they're likely more receptive to receiving that counsel and putting some thought into it. Okay. What
So
else?
that was it. That's it. That's all I got on my handy dandy papers. I mean, I don't know what other screenshots I have because that would take kind of forever to find it. But I think in general, supportive friends make a difference. And whether we know it or not, we're looking to that advice will guide us. And even though we should depend on it, shouldn't be the end all be all of what we're doing in life. We as learn to other people and we or introduction introduction of their partner, their family, they may present it in a way of, hey, I want you to know who this person is. Sometimes I'll do that and be like, think, and that type of stuff. But it's also being confident and secure in a relationship to know that you don't need.
Yes, yes. And the exact opposite, I want to make sure that I do highlight. If you're embarrassed or afraid to show your significant other to somebody else, to me, that says a lot right there. Or if you're trying, like, let me, yes, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to actively keep Michelle from anybody. And if I did, I would let Michelle know why ahead of time. Michelle, I would not want you to meet so and so because this person is a bad influence, does XYZ, and in my opinion, is extremely negative and you shouldn't spend any time with that person. Notice that I said shouldn't, and I'm doing this more of like a recommendation. If they were to happen to cross paths or whatever, let's say that there was somebody in like on my side of the house and it happened, then look, it is what it is. She's a grown person. I don't control her or anything like that. I can simply make the suggestion. But I would say that from the jump as to why. Outside of that, yeah, I'm not embarrassed or afraid of like being known to be associated with her or anything. And I think if you were like that with a friend or a family member, then that relationship's doomed and you're wasting your time.
One thing that we just found out not too long ago is that because of my social media posts, people know you guys know.
Yeah, that's interesting to me
Yeah,
because look, she knows a lot of people because of her profession, because of her networking stuff. So I'm including a lot of things in that. Your sororities, the different things that your sorority, different. Well, hold on. So what's the difference between the Eastern Star and the Delta?
One's a technically the other station that we don't necessarily define it as a sorority.
Soror. So do
I
you
don't call
say
anyone in
do you-
OES my soror.
they're not
I
a
call them my
soror?
sister. Yes.
Okay. So your sorority and other networking things that you're a part of, you have a pretty large social imprint. I have a different social imprint in that most of the things that I'm connected with are through veteran related events and things like that. So when we went out to the state fair this past weekend, people that she met and she knew were people from primarily from school, right? I don't think there was anybody that you ran into that was outside of school, maybe through church or something else. Correct. Okay.
Of that I spoke, I knew acid someone that I work with, that I serve all.
And I want to say 100% of the time, like the time at the creek, the time at the fair, anytime I've ran into somebody out in public, it's been from military related social networks. But it's interesting. And then I'll end on this and then we'll close out for today. I can't stand when people say, "Oh, now that you got a boo thing, you don't come around as much or anything like that." No, my time is actually the same as it was. The only there is a difference, and the difference is this: I will give priority to Michelle when it comes to things because I like doing things with her, or we like doing things with each other, I should say. And but for the most part, people see us, and because we do post together online, they assume we're around each other all the time. That is false like a mug. We do take opportunities to make time and things like that, but to my friends out there that think that we spend every waking hour around each other, we don't. We do not.
And I guess the average.
Especially in this area, in the DMV area, it's not uncommon for people in relationships to be like 45 minutes apart from each other.
Right. And literally be. That's not something for us. We both.
And that worked out too, because I'm going to tell you, I tried it once. Not a fan of it.
I'm not a fan of it either because I love hugs. If I were more, because if I'm coming from my house, it's about 7 minutes. If I'm coming from my job, it's about 10. So
Okay. All right. Well, we are at time. This has been another episode of The King and Me Show.
Sure you tune in. Today was episode 16. Next week, episode 17. Are talking about what's love got to do more than love in modern. While pop in, have your
Pull up.
all right. Anything?
No, I just want to thank the people that did tune in on AMP as well. As this is maybe our third time doing this on AMP. So we've got the visual live stream so y'all can see us, see that we are not AI and that we are real people.
We're real.
And
We're really in.
Her microphone didn't make me think that she was real for a second.
Look, this microphone situation, like I want to touch on that really, really quickly.
Before you do, I'm going to guarantee something. I'm going to give you a guarantee. When you come back from the trip, so two Mondays from now, I'm going to get CQ to get our setup right. And CQ doesn't do anything like halfway. So I'm going to enlist the help of CQ. It might involve some different equipment, but I'm going to take care of that.
First of all, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate that. I was telling him off camera before we got started that for me, because of everything that I've gone through in my life, I try not to dwell on things because if I perseverate on something for too long, it's going to take me down a spiral that I don't want to deal with. So sometimes I just check out before I allow something. And we were having some tech, and I just checked out.
She did.
Because it was easier for me to check out than for me to sit and worry and worry and worry and literally make myself sick by perseverating on it. So I apologize to you for that checkout, but also let you know that like I'm here, I'm invested, I love doing this. Something like healthier, actually. Check out.
Hey, you know what? Excuse me. And we're still learning. We are learning that I don't know if we've talked about this in the past or whatnot, but like part of that is just communicating. There could have been some static. I'm gonna tell you right now, old me might have felt some type of way. I would have been like, I'm doing the best that I can. I do not need you over here sulking or doing whatever when I'm trying to make things work out. So it is fine. It is okay. Thank you for pointing that and highlighting it. And we're going to work on it. We are building this ship as we're flying it, and we appreciate the support of the people that are rocking with us. Do we have any comments to address before we close the live stream?
All
right. Well, to my mom who watched and didn't say nothing, make sure you hit that like button. To everybody else, hit the like button as well. Thank y'all for tuning in. We are out.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Yep.
feel like